Guys, today we're speaking about perfect and imperfect types of verbs. As you know, we don't have so many tenses in Russian language as in English language, but we have the specific types of verbs: perfect, совершенный вид, and imperfect, несовершенный вид. So what can we do to define the type of the verb? How to use them? How many forms do they have? What forms do they have? We'll answer all of these questions. At first, we need to know that every single imperfect verb has its own brother perfect verb. And second, every verb has a lot of forms. So, to make it easier for you, to learn them, we combine them into every group and divide it into 6 parts. So what 6 groups do we have in Russian language? The first one, imperfect, perfect. Imperfect would be without prefix, perfect be with prefix. What prefixes do we have for perfect verbs? Про, на, с, по, при, за, вы, подо, у. Examples. Читать, imperfect. Прочитать, perfect. To read. Писать, написать. To write. Делать, сделать. To do. Завтракать, позавтракать. To have breakfast. Готовить, приготовить. To cook. Болеть, заболеть. To get sick. Учить, выучить. To learn. Ждать, подождать. To wait. Видеть, увидеть. To see, and so on. The second group, to know this group better, you need to remember that Russian verbs can have 2 conjugations. We'll call them easy way. Класс 1 and класс 2. The first conjugation and the second conjugation. Conjugation in Russian means спряжение. Class 1 is ended with ать, ять, еть. Class 2 is ended with ить. I mean just infinitives now, guys. So, this group, the second group, contains imperfect with ать, ять, and perfect with ить. So, imperfect would be of the first class, perfect would be of the second class. Examples. Объяснять, imperfect. Объяснить, perfect. To explain. Изучать, изучить, to study. Повторять, повторить, to repeat. Включать, включить, to turn on. Выключать, выключить, to turn off. The third group, imperfect, with the suffix "ıva", perfect without it. There is no suffix "ıva" in the form. Instead of it, we put suffix "a". Examples. Рассказывать, imperfect. Рассказать, perfect. To tell. Показывать, показать, to show. Приказывать, приказать, to order. The fourth group, imperfect, with the suffix va, perfect without the suffix. Examples. Давать imperfect, дать perfect. To give. Продавать, продать. To sell. Уставать, устать. To get tired. Вставать, встать. To stand up. Узнавать, узнать. To know, to get the information. Открывать, открыть. To open. Закрывать, закрыть. To close. Забывать, забыть. To forget. The fifth group, imperfect, is without the suffix nu, but perfect is with the suffix nu. Examples. Кричать, imperfect. Крикнуть, perfect. To scream. Исчезать, исчезнуть. Disappear. Погибать, погибнуть. To die accidentally. Обманывать, обмануть. To lie. The sixth group is the hardest because the words of perfect and imperfect types are totally, absolutely different. Just look at them. Imperfect and perfect. Imperfect. Говорить, perfect. Сказать, to say. Садиться, сесть, to sit down. Ложиться, лечь, to lay down. Становиться, стать, to become. Обнимать, обнять, to give a hug. Снимать, снять, to take off, about clothes, or to take picture, two meanings. So let's imagine that we've learned all of them. So what's the main idea of these verbs? How to use them? Why and when do we need to use them? As with the cases, at first we need to know their meanings, and we need to know the key words, adverbs of the time that can answer the question when, or how long, or how often, for what period of time, during what period of time, and so on. So, the meanings of imperfect and perfect types of verbs. The first meaning of imperfect type is process, процесс. And the first meaning of perfect verb is the result, результат. So if we want to speak about the process of activity, we use imperfect verb. If we want to speak about the result, we use perfect verb. The second meaning, repeat, повтор, imperfect verb. So every day, every minute, every moment, maybe often, rarely, sometimes, seldom, never, always, from time to time, it is for imperfect verb. Perfect, just once. So it means that we did something just one time, or will do something just one time. The third meaning of imperfect verb is period. So how long, for example, and or maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 days, 3 days, 1 minute, 1 second, period. And perfect when we use the preposition за plus period, for period. For example, за 2 минуты, for 2 minutes, за 2 часа, for 2 hours, за 5 дней, for 5 days. The fourth meaning of imperfect verb is action is parallel to another action. действие параллельно другому действию. And the fourth meaning of perfect verb is when completed activity follows another completed activity. Одно законченное действие следует за другим законченным действием. The fifth meaning of imperfect verb without partner is when activity is a property. Действие – это свойство. We usually use it in science or maybe some subjects.